There is some walk-off magic this weekend down at Fifth Third Field as Matt Melzak joins us from the Toledo Mud Hens. And Matt, back-to-back walk-offs Friday, Saturday. What a great way to split a series with Jacksonville.
Yeah, it ended up, and it really actually ended up being a little bittersweet because you lose the last game. They had a chance to win the series and end up splitting, but it was a fun series. There were a lot of close games. Really was down to the wire, 9th inning, 10th inning, in an instant where it could have been either team's game. So what a fun series. It was great downtown. I had a couple of sellouts over the weekend, some great crowds Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was just a fun week at the ballpark.
Hens getting good offensive production from the catcher spot. Of course, Dylan Dingler called up for the Tigers, hit his first Major League home run on Sunday. But then you had Anthony Bemboom who's filling in behind the plate. Big week at the plate. And then Stephen Scott, not only those two walk-offs, but he's been crushing the ball lately.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, well over 300 in his last 15 games. He is hitting for power. He's delivering. Now, granted, I think the walk-off in the 10th is probably a sac fly if the defense is in a normal position, but the fact that they're pulled in made that a base hit. Still ends up winning the game for him, and but the previous night when he walked it off in the 9th inning, that was all the way to the base of the wall, a pure double that he only got a single for. So I guess it all evens out in the end. He's a guy who can get in there. He can help you out in the outfield a little bit if needed. Obviously, he can catch, and that's the one position that, he told us this past week, hey, I want to be behind the plate. That's where I belong, and, that's where he looks forward to playing the most.
As a couple of guys who grew up in the 90s, we understand chicks dig the long ball. We talk offense quite a bit. Let's give some love to the pitching. They've done a good job, particularly against Jacksonville. High strikeout numbers all week.
Yeah, and that was the big part of it. I mean, there were still some runs scored. Jacksonville hitting the baseball very well all week long in Toledo. The ball was really moving pretty good. There wasn't a ton of home runs, but boy, there were a lot of big innings as far as runs scored. But you know what? Toledo's pitching staff struck out a boatload of players. You look at the Ty Madden 11K performance, a career high for him. And then on Saturday night, where you had, 5-6 pitchers combined, you've got a bullpen day, and the total strikeout number was 18, tying the season high that they had in late May. So they were putting up some Ks all week long. And, sometimes Ks can be a good thing. They can be a bad thing because you see what happened with Ty Madden. He had so many strikeouts. And then he kind of, I don't know if he really ran out of gas, but there's really not a better word to put it because in the 6th inning he struggled a little bit to get out. But he had a lot of Ks, and Ks can be a great thing. And you look at that, that's usually a pretty good omen and tells you that he can probably succeed at the Major League level.
This past week, first time ever, the Mud Hens played at Jacksonville. This week they go to Charlotte. They've got a history with Charlotte, but this is the first time they played the Knights in like 5 years.
Yeah, you got to go back 2019. I mean, the last time, prior to the pandemic, the last time these two teams played, and they'll play just the one time. It's down in Charlotte. So you saw Jacksonville here, Toledo not going to Jacksonville, but then going to Charlotte and only seeing the Knights this week. They just had a managerial change there with the moves that Chicago made. It's a ballpark where the ball can fly. So let's keep an eye on that. We might see some runs scored this week.
All right, looking forward to that as the Hens on the road, and they're back home the following week. Matt Melzak, thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure, Mark.